The cold wind bit through the streets that evening, but inside a sleek city car, a little girl's voice broke through the quiet. "Daddy, her baby is freezing," she whispered urgently, pointing toward a small bundle huddled under a torn blanket. Her father, a successful CEO who always had a solution for every problem in the boardroom, felt a lump in his throat. He had never faced anything like this before, tiny life in danger, right in front of him. They were on their way home from a late meeting, but his daughter's compassion couldn't be ignored. The little girl's eyes were wide with worry, her tiny hands trembling as she clutched her father's arm, insisting they do something. In that moment, the world of wealth and business plans seemed distant, replaced by the raw reality of human need. He glanced at the mother, shivering beside her baby, unsure how to help. Every second felt heavier than the last. Would they be able to save them? Or was it already too late? That night, a CEO and his little girl faced a choice that would change all their lives forever, and the decision they made would shock everyone around them. The story is about to unfold, but what happens next will leave you holding your breath. The CEO, usually confident and decisive, felt a strange hesitation. He had built empires, closed million-dollar deals, and commanded boardrooms, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. His little girl, full of innocence and courage, tugged at his hand again, her voice firm. "Daddy, we have to help her." Her determination sparked something he hadn't felt in years, a mixture of fear, responsibility, and the urge to protect life itself. As they slowly approached the mother and her tiny baby, he noticed the exhaustion etched into her face, the way she clutched the baby as if her own life depended on it. He realized this wasn't just a story about cold hands and shivering babies. It was about survival, about a world most people never see. His daughter's wide eyes reflected empathy he hadn't taught her had come naturally, pure and unfiltered. The city around them seemed to fade away, leaving only 3 lives intertwined by fate. Questions raced through his mind. How did they end up here? How long had they been struggling in the streets? Could a simple act of kindness make a difference? Or was it just a fleeting moment in a harsh world? The night was far from over, and the choices ahead would test their hearts in ways they never imagined. The CEO took a deep breath, trying to steady himself, while his little girl stared at the mother with a mixture of concern and curiosity. "Mommy, why don't they have a home?" she asked softly, her words hanging in the cold night air. He realized this question had no easy answer, and yet, it revealed a truth he couldn't ignore. Wealth and comfort could never shield them from seeing the struggles of others. The mother, shivering and exhausted, looked up with wary eyes. Her story was written on her face: loss, hardship, and countless nights spent trying to keep her baby safe. There was a tension in her gaze, a mix of fear and mistrust, as if accepting help was a dangerous risk. The CEO felt an unfamiliar hesitation. He wanted to reach out, but he knew one wrong word could push her away. Meanwhile, his daughter's persistence created its own ripple. She didn't understand the complexities of poverty or pride. She only knew the baby needed warmth. Her small hand reached for the baby's blanket, offering it with innocent urgency. From a distance, a few passers-by glanced at the scene, some sympathetic, some indifferent, highlighting a silent tension in the city itself, a world of opportunity and neglect coexisting side by side. The CEO realized that helping this mother would not just test his resources, but challenge everything he thought he knew about compassion, responsibility, and courage. The night held its breath, waiting to see which path they would choose, and the real struggle was just beginning. The wind grew colder, whipping through the streets, and the baby's tiny cries pierced the night. The CEO's heart raced as he fumbled for his coat, trying to offer warmth without seeming overbearing. His daughter's hand clutched his sleeve tighter, her eyes wide with both worry and determination. "Daddy, we can't just leave them here," she insisted, her voice trembling but firm. The mother's eyes darted between them, suspicion and hope battling on her face. Each second felt like an eternity as the CEO searched for words that could reach her without pushing her away. He wanted to promise safety, a warm place, anything, but he knew life on the streets had taught her to trust very little. The tension hung thick in the air, charged with fear, urgency, and a silent question. Would they accept help before it was too late? Nearby, a street lamp flickered, casting shadows that seemed to exaggerate the fragility of the moment. Every passerby, every distant sound of traffic made the situation feel even more precarious, like a delicate balance could shatter at any instant. The CEO's mind raced with possibilities. Should he insist, risk frightening her, or wait, hoping she would make the choice herself? His daughter tugged at him again, urgency etched in every movement. In that instant, the night held them all in daughter, mother, and baby on the edge of a decision that could change all their lives forever. Just as the CEO took a cautious step forward, ready to offer his coat, a sudden shout from down the street froze him in place. A man appeared, his voice sharp and accusing, calling out to the mother. She flinched, instinctively shielding her baby, and the CEO's heart sank. It was clear this wasn't just a random encounter. This man's presence hinted at a past. The mother had desperately tried to escape. Fear flashed across her face, and for the first time, she seemed on the verge of running. The little girl clung to her father's arm, sensing the tension but not fully understanding the danger. "Daddy, is he going to hurt her?" she asked, her voice small but urgent. The CEO realized that helping them now was more complicated than he imagined. This wasn't just about giving warmth or shelter, it was about navigating a web of hidden threats and past struggles that could unravel in an instant. The mother's eyes darted between the CEO, her baby, and the approaching man. Every heartbeat seemed louder, every second stretching into eternity. The streets that had seemed empty now felt claustrophobic, the shadows growing longer as the unknown threat drew closer. In that frozen moment, the stakes escalated. What started as an act of compassion now teetered on the edge of danger, and the CEO, his daughter, and the homeless mother faced a choice that could change their lives forever or put them all at risk. The CEO's pulse pounded as he stepped closer, his daughter clutching his hand tightly. The man's approach was slow but menacing, and for a moment it seemed like the night might end in chaos. Then, the mother's voice rang out, steady and commanding, surprising everyone. "Stop, please. You don't have to do this here." Her eyes met the CEO's, a silent plea for help and trust. The stranger hesitated, his face softening for a fraction of a second, and in that moment the CEO realized he had to act. Calmly, but firmly, he extended his hand toward the mother and her baby, offering warmth, protection, and a lifeline. The little girl pressed her face against her father's side, her hope palpable, as the mother hesitated and, then slowly accepted the coat. The man, seeing they would not yield to fear or anger, finally turned and walked away, leaving the street eerily quiet. Relief washed over them. But just as the CEO thought the danger had passed, the mother whispered something that made him freeze. I didn't tell you everything. There's someone else out there, someone worse." The baby stirred, and the mother's eyes, full of both fear and determination, met his. The city felt colder again. But now it wasn't just the wind, it was the sense that their story was far from over, even in safety. The night had left a lingering question. What would they face next? And how far would their courage be tested? The CEO took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the night slowly lift, though a part of him remained alert. He wrapped the mother and her baby in warmth, gently assuring them that they were safe for now. His little girl's face lit up with relief, her small hand resting on the baby's tiny chest, as if her courage had helped change the world for the moment. Over the next few days, the CEO worked quietly behind the scenes, finding the mother a temporary place to stay and connecting her with support networks that could help her rebuild her life. The mother, still wary but grateful, began to trust again, realizing that even in a harsh world, compassion could make a real difference. Through it all, the little girl learned a powerful lesson about empathy, courage, and standing up for what's right, no matter how small she felt. Her father too discovered that real leadership isn't measured by wealth or titles, but by the willingness to act with heart when it matters most. As they watched the mother and baby head toward a safer future, the CEO held his daughter close and whispered, "You reminded me what truly matters." That night, the city felt a little warmer, the streets a little kinder, and their hearts a little braver, proving that a single act of compassion can change more than just one life.